day number 4. And today I just came back home and I was like, I need to shoot this video ASAP. It's an issue I've been having, and I've seen a few videos on YouTube of people expressing their opinions about this topic in regards to like customer service or like dealing with people in any customer facing roles, whether you're at a coffee shop or retail, grocery store, places like this. And there's been this, like, I don't know, thing online about like since the pandemic, things have gotten a lot worse in the customer service space. Or people can blame Gen Z, which I don't think is a thing. I've had good experiences with Gen Z, also bad experiences with, doesn't matter the generation, you know, like there's always going to be terrible people and there's always going to be good people. But customer service, I feel like most people don't know. I don't believe in the customer is always right, but I do believe in always keep the customer happy, even if they're incorrect. Because one bad review, I think it weighs more than a good review. You can see it. I'm pretty sure if you go on Amazon and you see something that's 4 stars versus 4.5 stars, you're more likely to go with the product, even though it's the same with 4.5 stars. Or if you read 1 or 2 bad reviews but read 10 reviews, you still might not buy that product. So anyway, all that to say, I went to an apartment tour because we're planning on moving, and I booked it this morning. So I have this email coming in that's sending me apartments around the area that open up, because it's very competitive out here in the Bay Area, especially in Oakland right now because San Francisco is so expensive. And I was like, oh, this looks like a good deal. It's not in a terrible location. I say that because, you know, I would love to live in the Oakland Hills or somewhere like that, but it's super expensive and very far from everything. So I booked a tour. I booked a tour for 10 a.m. They apparently were open today. It's Friday from 9 to 5. So I go with my dog. I always go with Copper because if they accept dogs, I always want them to see him because they usually want to meet the dog. So I go and I go to hit call office. They have like a security thing like most buildings around Oakland, and it doesn't work. So I had to wait for someone to come out. I go in, and security guard was nice. She was like, oh, the office is closed. I was just like, but I booked a tour, you know? And she's a security guard, so I wasn't giving her, like, I was being kind about it. The maintenance guy comes, and he's like, oh yeah, like, I don't know, the office is closed today, but I'll get in touch with someone for you from the, like, main office. It's cool. So I waited like 5 minutes, nothing crazy. And he does come back with the phone with the management. They're like, they're sorry, someone called out sick. And I was like, damn, like either you guys don't have enough employees, but usually I'm used to most of these buildings having, you know, if they have like multiple floors and stuff, they usually have 2 leasing agents. But I noticed since the pandemic, there's been 1 leasing agent for most of those. I don't know if there's like lack of opportunity, if these companies are really trying to save money like everyone else is. Every company is doing layoffs and reorganizations because they're trying to save money, and things are getting progressively worse because of it. And, you know, they called, it was fine, but like, I was like, do I want to go back? Like, that's something that came to mind because I'm like, this is inconvenient. Just wasted about 30-45 minutes of my time that I'm never going to get back. You know, like, take it off the website. If someone calls out, like, be on top of your shit. I'm a big fan of efficiency. I like when people are on top of their shit. Unfortunately, being in the Bay Area, I don't understand how this place is so successful in the tech space, because it is, there's so many places that are inefficient. Like, I'll go on Google and a place will show open, and I'll go and it's completely closed, or it doesn't exist. I've ran into that a bunch of times when I lived in San Jose, when I first moved to Oakland. Like, a lot of places say they're open, but they're not. They have odd hours. Like, maybe I'm spoiled from New York City, but New York City things are open usually late or 24 hours. It's probably not the same anymore, but over here, that's just not the case. People open whenever the hell they want. They have odd hours. They're closed on odd days. I'm like, how do you make money? Because the Bay Area is expensive. Rent is expensive. and it's like, okay, like this experience wasn't as bad as I've experienced before, but it is like it's a thing that it's like, if you're gonna waste my time, like I don't like that. Like, thankfully, the security guard and the maintenance guy were really kind people, and they were willing to help me, even though they didn't have to, because that's not their job. Um, but I respect people like that's the way I am. So I'm that way. Like, if someone needs something and I'm like, this is not part of my job, but I'll do my best to help you. I'll do my best to get you to the right person. Like, that's just the way I work. That's always how I've worked, even when I was in retail, and even if I was having a bad day. Because if you have a customer facing role, I try to think like, you never know who might be walking through that door. It could be a CEO of a big company. If you have a good experience, they might want to hire you. That's how I see things. You never know what opportunity will present itself. And I'll have another video sometime this week about luck, because Mark Manson just came out with a great podcast on luck and how you create luck, and the two aspects of it, like what you can control and what you can't control. But yeah, I'm a big believer in that. And I have great customer service in some places. Like, I go my local coffee shop that's like 2 blocks from me. I go there, and like there's like usually these 2 young girls that work there. They love my dog Copper, and they treat me really well. They always are super kind to me and Copper, and they're just very bubbly and nice. Like, customer facing role, that's usually the kind of people you want to hire, right? So yeah, it was just like not a bad experience, but one of those experiences that are like what the kids say these days is mid, and you're like, this can go 50-50. Like, either I just don't go back, which is probably what's gonna happen, because I got other apartments to look at, or I go back because I don't have other options at the time. But when you're in a competitive landscape, you cannot allow for that to happen. I'm a big believer in that. Like, show people you're like, dang, I really want to go back to that place, or I really want to work here. Like, I'm a recruiter, so like part of my job is selling the company to people who possibly want to work there, instead of maybe a competitor or somewhere else, right? And that shows through me. I'm the first point of contact. So I'm a big believer in that first experience being amazing, or like making it unforgettable, where people remember who you are. I'm a big believer in leave things better than you found it. If you're young and watching this is like prime life advice I wish I heard when I was young. I didn't really learn these things until I was like not late, but like mid-20s, after I worked retail. I wasn't the best in retail, okay? That's what I love. But I learned over time that's you never know who's walking through that door. It's like, if you've seen the recent movie The Odyssey, something they say is like, the Zeus's law, which is funny because it's also Jesus's law in Christianity, but everything comes from something. And it's just like, be kind to everyone, even the beggars, because you never know if that's one of the gods walking amongst us. And I try to think the same way these days. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the friendliest person. Like, if you see me on the street, I usually have like my headphones on and like a resting bitch face. And I might not look friendly, but if someone says hi, like I am friendly. But sometimes I'm just in my head, I'm thinking. That's what I use my walk time for. It's just to kind of like get into the zone. So, but yeah, like, just what an experience. And I'm noticing that things are worse. And if you want to be successful, if you have, you want to get a good job or start a business and get customers, like, you will have a better time if you're kind and you follow up, you follow through, and you're consistent. That's what wins. Because these days, that's really hard to find, I'm noticing. So, yeah, that's all I got today.